Hey guys, it's Dr. Davis at the Davis Medical Group in East Texas. Today we're going to be talking about triglycerides. Why? Well, because it came up in clinic today 5 or 6 times. So what is a triglyceride? What does it mean? Should you worry about it? How do you fix it? Where does it come from? If you like this video, give me one of these down there, like it, thumbs up, share it with your friends, family, anybody who might need to know this. And more importantly, subscribe, because that's how you're going to get notified that I have a new video out. All right, so you go to your doctor, you get your lab results, you're worried about your cholesterol, and they throw in at the bottom, oh, and your triglycerides are a little high, and your HDL, your good cholesterol, is a little bit low. Okay, thanks, doc, for that. I don't know what that means, but I appreciate it. So let me tell you what it means. Let's talk about cholesterol first, because we all know what cholesterol is, right? It's a fat. Cholesterol is not a fat. Cholesterol is a wax. Cholesterol is a wax. It's not a fat. It's what makes you nice and springy. It's what gives you all this good stuff. Cholesterol is also the mother hormone. If you'll notice, the word cholesterol has the word steroid in it. So cholesterol is used, we're making all your steroid hormones like estrogen and progesterone and testosterone and cortisone. Anyway, we're going to move cholesterol off to the side and we're going to talk about triglycerides. So triglycerides, three glycerols, is basically a sugar fatty mix. If you eat more sugar, if you have a sugar problem, you'll make more triglycerides. It comes primarily from the food that you eat and is manufactured from the extra calories that are floating around in your body. So why? We talk about cholesterol like we know what it is. You take an LDL cholesterol molecule, it's actually a meatball. So imagine you were going to make a meatball and you had a can of fat and a can of wax and some tomato sauce and some grease, and you mix that meatball together and you pack it really tight. That's a high density lipoprotein. Lipoprotein is what we call that meatball. And HDL is a very tightly packed cholesterol molecule. It's very dense. A squishy big fat meatball made up of triglycerides and cholesterol and lipoprotein, which is the spaghetti that goes through there and holds it all together, that's an LDL molecule. Now, whether it's a single triglyceride floating around bouncing off your artery wall or this big greasy meatball cholesterol molecule bouncing through your artery walls, every time it slides against your artery wall, it leaves a skid mark, basically a triglyceride skid mark. Then those triglycerides are sucked into the tissue and stored as fat for later, for energy when you need it later. So it's a transport molecule of fat. Triglyceride is how you transport fat. Cholesterol is the rest of it. So we want to know that you're made up of fat, water, and cholesterol, and so the triglycerides is the fat component. So why do we even care about triglycerides? Obviously, it's another way that you can leave debris on the side of your artery wall, and it does increase your risk of stroke or heart attack. So what is a normal number? Well, when we do the labs, we're basically looking across the country, we're looking at a 150 as considered normal. And then anything above 200 is considered high, and it's certainly, there are some genetic traits that can lead you to be way above 500. You can get 1,000, you can get 2,000. Your triglycerides can be to the moon. And some of that's genetic and a lot of it's diet. So there are some disease states associated with high triglycerides, and those include the following. All right, so what diseases or syndromes or conditions can increase your triglyceride level? There are quite a few of them. You can have familial genetic hypertriglyceridemia or hypolipoproteinemia. Remember, the lipoprotein is the cholesterol molecule. Triglycerides, cholesterol, and then that ribbon of protein binding together to make an LDL or an HDL. That's lipoprotein. So you can have diseases that we call that hyperlipoproteinemia, and there are different types. Being pregnant can raise your triglycerides. Being obese for sure is a classic sign of being overfed. And when you have extra calories, your body makes extra triglycerides because that's how it transports it from your gut to in your bloodstream to the sidewall of your artery and into the fat cells. So being obese for sure. Alcohol abuse will certainly increase your triglycerides. You see that a lot, and then that leads to things like acute heart attacks. Heart attacks will release the triglycerides from the artery wall, and they'll skyrocket in an acute heart attack state. Certainly pancreatitis will raise your triglycerides, and high triglycerides will give you pancreatitis. Kidney disease, there's quite a few kidney diseases that can do it. Diabetes, hypothyroidism, hypopituitary, that's the gland up here in the brain that can do that. And then certainly medicines can cause it. Now the medicines that we think of mostly are estrogens, exogenous estrogens that you take, not that you make, but that you take, diuretics, glucocorticoids, which are a certain type of steroids, and finally a very unusual platelet medicine for leg pain called Ticlid. And so those are primarily the medicines that are going to have high triglycerides. All right, so how do you fix it? Diet. It's always going to be diet. Now have your doctor check for thyroid, kidney, liver conditions, diabetes. Make sure there's nothing that's holding you back or contributing to it. Diet. What diet? Ironically, you would think that if this is a fat problem, that you would treat it by lowering the fat in your diet. Prescription medication to lower triglycerides is high dose, high strength omega-3 fish oil. Fat. So the correct oils can fix triglycerides. We use medicines in the clinic by prescription. And what's in that little pill, very clear, bright yellow pill, is omega-3 oil. So you can certainly do a lot to solve this problem by eating a diet rich in healthy, fatty fish. Cod liver oil, salmon, fish. You want healthy, fishy oil. If you don't like that, then you need to take it. And if you can't take fish oil, no big deal. It's not anything special about the fish. There's nothing in the fish that helps you. It's the oil, it's the omega-3 that somehow found its way up the food chain and wound up in that fish. So guess what that is? Algae oil. So you can get vegan omega-3 algae oil and get similar, if not the same benefits as you would get from the fish. There's nothing about the fish that imparts anything dramatic to that oil. So if you don't want the fishy taste, go on Amazon or wherever you want to buy at your local health food store and buy a vegan omega-3 oil. Take a bunch of it. You can't get enough. It's a very potent antidepressant. It's a very potent anti-inflammatory. There are studies, look them up, where they've used fish oil as an antidepressant in hospitals and it has worked, and they have used it in pain clinics and it has worked. So there's a lot going on with omega-3 oil, and it causes significant derangements in your lab work, including your triglycerides go up and your HDL goes down. There's a mechanism there. Those are always linked together. When you fix the production of triglycerides by lowering the triglyceride production by taking in healthy fatty oils, your HDL typically goes up. So you're flipping the switch from triglyceride production to HDL production. And what is HDL? It's the good cholesterol. Why is that important? Because it chaperones the bad cholesterol out the body and doesn't allow it to plaque your arteries quite as much. And so it's important to know that you can fix your triglycerides with diet. More healthy oils, more omega-3. Take them, supplement them, eat them, whatever you choose to do, but you got to get them going. Triglycerides are made because you have extra calories, and your body is programmed to take those extra calories and to store them. That's why you're not supposed to get extra calories except for a couple weeks in the summer when the fruit trees are ripe and you're packing on the pounds for this winter that's coming. So when your body gets extra calories, particularly from sugar, it's going to make a bunch of triglycerides, because that's what's going to transport that chylomicron, that absorbed sugar and fat through the artery into the fat cells and get it left as a skid mark along the artery wall and sucked into the tissue and stored as a fat. And so fat, that's what we're trying to get rid of. Low fat's not necessarily the best answer. Correct fat. But low sugar, low simple sugars, those have to be part of a regular healthy diet. You have to have low simple sugars. The white stuff, flour, sugar, potatoes, rice, they gotta go. They gotta go as part of your day-to-day. Can you have them sometimes? Of course. But day-to-day, flour, sugar, potatoes, and rice, gotta go. I have a sign hanging over my scale. I'll go out there and take a picture of it and put it right here. It was a gift from a student who was here who heard me say that so many times that she actually bought me this sign. So why is that important? Because they have no redeeming qualities. You should not be eating them, right? They're bad for you. They raise extra calories in your body. Extra calories are converted into triglycerides, fatty sugars, and those are transported throughout the body and stored as fat through your artery wall, and it increases your risk of stroke or heart attack. So on that note, we're going to decrease our triglycerides, or i.e. our extra stored, rapidly stored calories, by cutting out this list right here. Right here, boom. If you see those words on your foods for reasons even beyond your triglyceride level, just for your general health, you stop eating them. Stop eating them. Sucrose, glucose, fructose, corn syrup, maltose, honey, molasses, and high fructose corn syrup. So am I saying those things are bad for you? Uh-huh. Was honey on the list? Uh-huh. Yeah. Has honey got good redeeming qualities? Does it bring in local pollens and decrease your allergies? Sure. But guess what it is? Pure absorbable sugar designed to make bears fat for winter. If they make bears fat for winter, what does it do to you? It makes you fat for winter, and you're eating it all the time. So, argue with me all you want. The fact of the matter is if you're regularly consuming that list of foods right there, you're getting fat for winter, and you're making a ton of triglycerides and a ton of extra stored calories, and it's not going to go well. You're increasing your risk of all the diseases that cause hypertriglyceridemia. Hypertriglyceridemia, high triglycerides. Does it cause obesity? No, it's caused by obesity. However, you don't get obese unless you have all these extra calories. What about diabetes? Same thing. They all go together. If you're doing one, you're going to get the other. If you have one, you're going to get the other. It's just the way these things work. Clean up your diet. Eat healthy foods, whole foods, with good healthy fats in them. If a cow is grass-fed, it makes omega-3 oil. Guess what I was just talking about? More omega-3 oil. If a fish eats wild fish and is wild caught, it's full of omega-3 oils. You want to eat animals that ate what they were supposed to eat, because they are then be full of omega-3s. If you eat what you're supposed to eat, animals that ate what they were supposed to eat, and plants that were raised on the ground that was good and clean and above the ground, you're going to make a full bunch of omega-3s. And if something eats you, you're going to make it healthier. I bet if something ate you right now, it'd make them feel bad, full of inflammation and all those nasty grains. Anyway, triglycerides 101. Clean up your diet. You can get healthy. You can control this. It increases your risk of stroke or heart attack, which is the #1 killer in this country, because the #1 problem in this country is sugar abuse and overeating and being overfed. Dr. Davis, if you like this video, please subscribe, share it with people who need to improve their health. Let's get this place going. Let's get you healthier. Subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Thanks.